Yo, it's PCP. Boom.
Hey, you wonderful people. Welcome to PCP, the Pixel Clicks podcast. I'm Jordan Polligan. This week we have a new format, which we'll get to in a little bit. Podcast listeners, remember to follow us on Twitter at PixelClicksPod to get information and stuff whenever we put it up. But, as always...
AKA never.
Never. I am not alone. The director and improv comedian Sergio Lopez is not here. But, in his stead, we have the Australian Thunder, Shane Carpenter.
From down under.
This is where you insert thunder sounds and like lightning.
That's great. And the ambassador for the PC Master Race, Cody Franklin, is here.
AKA Wolverine.
AKA Wolverine with that facial hair.
Hugh Jackman would be proud.
Fat Wolverine.
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 What the fuck is that? Okay.
I don't know.
Pizza-reen.
So yes, this week we're doing something a little bit different. Instead of just doing a quick roundup of the week in gaming news, we're gonna focus more on some specific topics so we could discuss things in a longer form. And yeah, that should be fun. So, topic number 1. Let's talk about Battleborn. Because, as it was brought to my attention, Battleborn comes out this Tuesday, May 3rd, and I forgot. I didn't remember that at all. Which, I feel like that doesn't bode well for the game because I follow gaming news.
Yeah, it's
Do you know where it is currently on the Amazon top seller list?
Not on the list.
No.
Wait, seriously?
Good sign.
Number 40?
Oh my
Let
god.
me look at Steam.
That's
wonder if it's
really
even on the
bad.
Pretty Steam, it's 50
Oh
for
jeez,
the fourth.
that's super bad.
It's not good.
It's not even on the front page of pre-orders.
That's awful. It comes out this week.
It literally comes out in 3 days, people.
3 days at the time of recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you call wrecked.
Yeah, that game's already wrecked before it even came out. But let's take a step back. What is Battleborn? According to marketing, nobody knows.
Alright.
It's
What is that game?
game that has shooting in a single
It's
player.
what should have been Borderlands 3, but
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's basically Borderlands. Battleborn. It's another one of those in the series of. I guess we decided we're calling them hero shooters.
Hero
Is that what we decided?
Hero
Okay.
shooters.
So like Overwatch, which is clearly its main competition at the moment, but
Not really a competition.
hey, we're getting there. But it's from the guys who made Borderlands, and it's a little bit different than Overwatch, which I'm sure pretty much that's the main thing, like Shane's saying. Everyone knows Overwatch. We don't even really need to talk about Overwatch.
Yeah.
I mean, if Blizzard hasn't drilled it into your mind by now, you've been sleeping under multiple rocks.
Yeah,
Because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
and by being a little bit different from Overwatch, we mean it's an entirely different game.
Completely different. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same basic concept in PvP, but it's actually strange because it's actually better fleshed out, I guess. More
Yeah.
fleshed out, and
Yeah.
yet it's less popular.
Like the easiest comparison is for Overwatch at least is Team Fortress 2. That's what Overwatch is. It's Team Fortress 2, but with different
Okay.
characters and with a Blizzard flair on it.
I'm gonna borrow from TB right now that Battleborn is Monday Night Combat.
Yeah, TB, Total Biscuit, friend of the show. It's not true. He doesn't know who we are
Not
at
true
all.
at all, but we're gonna say it. God damn it!
We're gonna fake it until we make it. We're gonna keep saying that we're friends
One
until
day.
we become friends.
Senpai.
Please notice us. Battleborn is like Monday Night Combat. It's like you have 25 different hero characters that all have different abilities and different roles that they can play within a battle.
Trees.
Yeah, they have skill trees and all this stuff that you level up during battles, and what you get up to level 10? Was it?
10, I believe.
Yeah, I think level 10's the highest, but you level up quick, and you level up by killing enemy NPCs, or
You can also level up by constructing things.
yes, by using money and stuff that you collect over time to build defenses for your team. You could level up by just being a support character by healing your team and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a very fast-paced leveling version of Borderlands. Kind of slurred that a little bit.
But with PvP, of course. That's where the comparisons to Overwatch come out. Is
Yeah.
the PvP is handled very similarly, but like I said again, kind of better fleshed out. Because like you guys are saying, you get the skills and you're leveling up with those, and you know the level up system with, I think what they call it, the Helix system. I think.
Yeah, the Helix system.
Yeah, because you get legit, like you make a choice at every level out of 2, sometimes 3 choices.
And there are items in the game that you can get, but from what everything I've read has said, those items don't create like a huge gap in power. They're more like artificial things that you can just kind of use to look.
I mean, they're powerful, but they're also, because you buy them outside of the mission, or you get them as drops, and then you can only take 3 of them into the mission.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like Dota and League of Legends and stuff like that. They clearly borrowed the system, I think, from there, where it's the same thing as like buying gear in a League of Legends mission or match.
Yeah,
but
you have to
you're getting it from outside map and you're bringing it in with you, and then as you're playing through, you get to unlock those 3 items with that gold that you're getting in the mission.
Yeah.
So. And like the really powerful ones are powerful, but they cost a lot to activate. Yeah. So you're not going to be getting them until later into the mission. So they're useful, but they're not. They're well balanced for the most part. At least in PvE. I don't know. They might end up being kind of crazy in the PvP part.
I heard it's basically the same thing in PvP also, where you can get a very powerful item, but you won't be able to activate it until maybe the last 2 minutes of a match. Like, and so stuff like that. So as you level up through the Helix system, you gain access to your ultimate. Each character has an ultimate ability that they get around level 4 or 5, I believe.
5.
Level 5, and that is it varies from character to character. Like the character I used the most was Miko, she's a support character. It looks like a mushroom lady. She throws down basically another mushroom that heals your party and slows the enemy, basically. So it's cool. It's fun to use, but it can be destroyed. So that kind of sucks, but it depends on where you put it down. So it also does some damage to slowed enemies as well. It's a cool attack. So yeah, in theory, Battleborn is a game that's jam-packed with content. I mean, you have a single-player campaign, you have lots and lots of multiplayer things to do.
Guys, it even has split screen.
It even
Do
has.
You remember split screen?
It has couch co-op.
What's that? Tell me more. No.
But I mean, the problem is, because of the marketing for Battleborn, nobody knows these things.
Yeah,
like
it's kind of and it's like it's coming out at the same month as Overwatch, and Blizzard has just been going insane with marketing for that.
Yeah,
I feel like it's kind of being overshadowed by that as well, but they're not doing themselves any favors with marketing and whatnot, because like you said, nobody's really seen anything about it.
Yeah, like when it comes to marketing, here's the thing. I go to Taco Bell fairly often, and when I go to Taco Bell and I get a drink or something, you know what I get? An Overwatch cup.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anything like this for Battleborn at all.
Going to GameStop at the moment, they have giant fucking displays for Overwatch.
Yeah.
And nothing for Battleborn.
And like another thing that's really helping Overwatch is the fact that Blizzard is a company that likes to keep all their universes together, more or less, because they're putting Tracer, which is basically the face of Overwatch, into Heroes of the Storm, and then you could get a baby version of Winston as a pet in WoW. You get character portraits in StarCraft, and you get
I think you also get a pet of some kind in Diablo, doesn't it?
Oh, you get you get somebody's wings. You get wings in Diablo. I forgot. Mercy, yeah, you get Mercy's wings in Diablo. So like they have all this synergy going on with all their other games, and that's smart because Blizzard is smart. They know how to market their games. And one of the things that Battleborn should have done was, hey, from the makers of Borderlands comes Battleborn,
or just stick the goddamn Borderlands name on the game.
Or put the Borderlands characters in there too.
I mean, yeah, I think that's one thing that we've talked about a lot outside of this podcast, and a lot of people have talked about on like Reddit and whatnot, is that it feels extremely Borderlandsy. So why didn't they just make it Borderlands?
Yeah.
I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot. Which, I mean, I understand why they didn't, because it gave them more creative freedom and stuff like that. And as a world result, they have made like a really cool story and world and very interesting characters. And it's definitely more mature than Borderlands, if that makes sense. I mean, that game, everyone cusses like a sailor and things like that.
They really do.
So, I mean, I can understand it from that point, but from a marketing point, I felt like that would have done them a lot of good to have just been like, hey, this is Borderlands 3, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like part of the problem is how they shot themselves in the foot is by saying every character in Battleborn is the last of their kind from each of their respective planets that are all destroyed now.
Yeah.
So it's like, because of that lore stipulation, you can't put anyone in Borderlands into it, because it has to be just one character from Borderlands. Who would that character even be? Claptrap? I don't know. Like,
see, but that would have been perfect, honestly, if they just stuck Claptrap in that game and said, "Look, Borderlands mascot is in this game." People probably would have been like,
a little bit of crossover like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it would if Claptrap was like a announcer or something, like that'd be totally cool.
Actually, I like that idea. Claptrap is
make it happen right now.
Yeah, like they should have pushed the Borderlands like connection in Battleborn a lot more, but they just didn't. And I understand, they want Battleborn to succeed on its own merits. They don't want to have to piggyback entirely on Borderlands.
Yeah. But
in this situation, I feel like it's something that they actually really needed to generate interest in the game.
I honestly just wanted this game to do well because I think, in a way, Battleborn is Gearbox's way of testing the waters for a Borderlands MMO.
Yeah.
If I dare utter the words.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Borderlands MMO was kind of hinted at by the ending to Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
We're like, oh man, we got to the vault, but there's nothing here. Oh wait, we have this map. Oh, look at this. There's a whole universe filled with planets with vaults on them. Like, there you go.
Yeah.
That's clearly where I thought it was going as well, so.
Yeah. And I feel like Battleborn is like a test to see, will it work on a larger scale having this kind of system.
You know what I would actually really love if one of the enemies that appear in Battleborn, if it's like Cromorax or something, like that'd be really cool. But yeah, like
I hope Battleborn has one of those classic Gearbox intros.
Yeah,
for Borderlands games.
Oh, I would love that. I mean, 'cause all the characters are so cool and unique. So, like, I could imagine a really cool opening cinematic for that game.
Yeah.
But let's move away a little bit from the marketing aspect of it. Let's talk about the actual game. Like, I played some of the beta. Cody, you played more of the beta than I did, right?
Yeah, I played strictly the PvE part though.
Yeah, yeah. Shane, did you have a chance to play the beta at all?
Nope.
Nope.
I just based my stuff off of videos that I've been watching.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, so since I focused more on, well, tell us about the PVE aspects of the game, Cody.
So in the beta, there was two maps
Yeah.
that you got to play. It was pretty fun, I'll say. I don't know why it took me so long to say that word. Brain. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. One map I liked a little bit more than the other, but they were both pretty well designed, lots to do. I mean, it's the same general on the rails kind of experience each time you play through, but
Yeah.
you get to play with that, different character each time and whatnot. I really enjoyed it though. It was a lot of fun. The matchmaking seemed to work great. It was pretty much instantly getting parties to do them. Got to try out all kinds of new characters and see other people's characters and whatnot. The humor in that game is probably its strength, and I feel like, just to go back to marketing a little bit, I feel like that's one of the things they didn't do a very good job of really portraying. I noticed in all the trailers and whatnot, it's very like, this is a serious game. Look at our cool serious shooter, and then you get the game and it's fucking ridiculous and hilarious. And I'm like, why is that not what you like? Why is that not everywhere?
Yeah.
It's such a funny game. I was just constantly laughing at all the dialogue. The guy, the one map I played, you ended up fighting one of the. They have like several. They usually have like, I think those two missions, they had a bunch of stuff you did, and then you fought like one boss, and then you did some more stuff, and then you fought like the big boss.
Yeah.
And on that first one, it was basically the big evil AI that you were trying to defeat. He had created this guardian robot to protect him, and I believe his name was Gary. And but the robot looked very much like a spider, and he was basically role playing the shit out of being a spider. So like, will never defeat my master destruction robot, Gary. He's like, my name's not Gary, it's Arachnus. Saying, no, you are a masterful death robot, and your name is Gary. Arachnus! I am the king of spiders! Like, the whole map, he's just constantly like, and he's like up on this giant web, and you're trying to figure like, oh no, how do we get them down? And the crazy old man who's like your like co-pilot, who's always in your ear telling you everything, he's like, hey, he really thinks he's a spider. Let's try and do what spiders do. And you literally hit him with bug repellent, and he's like, ooh, bug poison. If I was a spider, this would really hurt. And he comes down. He's role playing the shit out of that role, And that's how you end up defeating him. You keep poisoning him, and even though he's a robot, he's role playing it so hard the poison somehow hurts him. And stuff like that. Like, it was just ridiculous all the time. And I liked it. Like, the dialogue would change. Each time they played through, a lot of the dialogue would be the same idea, but they would re-record the same concept several times.
Yeah.
There was like one part in that mission where you're going through, and the robot goes, oh, I've detected an angry old man on your ship. How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And, they have this banter back and forth, and it's hilarious. And then the next time I'd play through, it's the same idea, but they'd have totally different jokes.
Yeah.
And I love that. And it made the missions interesting, and just that humor. I mean, it's been a few weeks, so I apologize for not being able to do a better job of portraying what those jokes were. But God, it's a fucking funny game. And I was totally not expecting that. Because of the trailers and stuff, like I said, I went into it going, oh, look, this is like Overwatch, whatever, I'll try it out. They're both having a beta this weekend, whatever, I'll see if this is any good. And then I got in, and I was just like, I'm laughing so much. Why did you not show me this before?
Yeah.
And that's something I feel like Overwatch definitely doesn't have going for it. It's a very straightforward game, and it's got a very cool universe, don't get me wrong, and cool story and stuff, but in the actual like maps and stuff, it's pretty bland.
Yeah.
A lot of that story and whatnot is outside of the world.
Very true.
And that's the same kind of idea that Dota and League of Legends and Team Fortress 2 and stuff do, and I kind of hate that. And that for me was a huge selling point towards Borderlands. Wow, Battleborn's side was just the fact that each mission. I mean, again, I can't speak for the PvP portions. I'm assuming it's similar, but for the PvE portions, they were way in there with their lore, with their story, with their characters, with their humor and things like that. Oh, and there was another one too. The whole map you're escorting another map you're escorting another spider type robot to essentially blow himself up to close the black hole, but the crazy old man scientist who's in charge had removed the robot's ability to realize that he was going to die. So he's constantly, the whole map, he's just like, hey, so what are you guys doing after this? We're going to go get some beers and stuff, right? And things like that. And they're like, and your characters will actually, like, every character has their own line at that point that they'll say, and it's a different line. Like, this crazy robot does not realize he's going to die, is he? He goes, what do you mean? I'm not going to die. See you guys later. You're weird, and things like that. Just so many good lines. God, I was just replaying it almost just to hear the new lines and jokes and stuff like that. As much as the game was fun too. So, yeah, I'm beating a dead horse at this point. But I'm just like, why did you not do a better job of showing just how funny this game is? Because there's not really that kind of humor. I feel like humor in general isn't really utilized in games a lot. Everything's so damn serious anymore. And I like they were, cognizant of that and said, no, let's be absolutely ridiculous. And it worked.
Yeah. So I can't speak to the PV, but I can speak to the PvP because that's the main thing that I focused on when I played.
Well, there we go. Perfect.
When I played the beta. Yeah. So I played on PS4. Which I wish I was able to play it on PC, but I only got a PS4 beta key. But that's neither here nor there. So there were two game modes. There was the I forgot what it was called, but basically you attack these two Sentinel tanks that they talk the whole time. They sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's pretty funny. And I can hear someone playing something.
Okay, Shane.
Yeah.
Somebody linked something to me. I was like, what are you trying to show me?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
And the other mode was you had to escort your own minions into a furnace, basically, that thinks it's a god. So it's like, feed me, give me more of your minions. I am hungry, stuff like that. But yeah, like the humor definitely persists through the PvP also. Just in random dialogue, things that your player characters say like to each other and like, reacting to the situation, reacting to the giant talking tanks that you're trying to defend, and stuff like that. The PvP portion was really, really fun. But granted, my biggest worry with the PvP was team compositions. When I was playing Miko. She was entirely a support character, but you can still do damage and stuff. She's totally fine. But her main role is to heal. So I was doing that, and I was looking at my teammates, and we had basically 3 tank characters, then me healing, and then like one like agile DPS type of dude. And we got wrecked. Like because the other team had like 3 DPS, 1 tank, and like 1 support, and they just like murdered us, like because plus no one wanted to really kind of team up with each other. Everyone just wanted to be going by themselves and like try to wreck stuff, but that's not how that game works. And the other team, they just kept coordinating with each other, like, all right, everyone just attack this one person, kill them, and move on. Like, but it was still a lot of fun. I wish I had a chance to really dig into more of the other characters, but I really wanted to focus on one because I was trying to get used to the Helix system during each match. Yeah. And that definitely takes some getting used to, because you basically have to know what your build is going to be before you go into every match. And I don't know if that would actually affect the outcome before the match even begins. Like if my team goes in and we have 3 tanks, me, support, and some DPS guy, like when we start that match, we can't switch out of those characters at all. So we're stuck with those characters. Yeah. I don't know if because of that team composition, we were just already just destined to lose, like no matter what we could do. So that's one thing I'm really worried about with Battleborn, because especially with the thing where you can get items and stuff. So it makes me wonder, like, can you get a combination of items, characters who all have these specific abilities, and would that make them basically unbeatable compared to another composition of characters,
I will say, in its defense, though, doesn't, like, Overwatch have the same problem, though, where you lock in a character and you can't change?
No, you can change at any moment.
You can?
The second you die, you can switch to a different hero.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
All right, then that's the point towards them. Okay.
And then, like, another thing with...
I guess it's all the streamers I've been watching are, like, just playing the one character the whole time. Okay.
That's not how you're supposed to play that game.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, in Overwatch, you could switch on the fly. Like, the second you die, switch to a different hero to help whatever is lacking on your team. But I don't. I could talk about Overwatch later.
Yeah.
So, love that game already. But yeah, like the stuff with the team composition stuff and being locked into characters, that's the thing I'm really, really worried about for PvP with Battleborn. Because if I were to get that game, I am going to be doing the PvP mainly. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
Like, granted, the campaign is a cool added thing, and like if we all got it for the same system, yeah, I'd love to play the campaign with you guys. But when I'm by myself, I'm gonna play the PvP stuff, and I don't know. I don't know if
I'll say I agree with you too, because that I at times when I was playing PvE, there were times I was going, I really wish I could change to another character right now, because I feel like when you're playing a mission for 30-40 minutes at times, and you're locked into, that's what you're doing, it gets boring after a while. Like there's times, the one that really stands out to me is when I was playing the I can't remember his name, but the big golden robot sniper dude, super dapper Marquis, yeah, the super dapper robot.
Yeah.
He's awesome and with sniping and things like that. But the map that we were playing on, when I started out, it was nice, open, and I was like, all right, this is working, this is cool. And then, like, halfway through the map, it got a lot more crowded in up close, things like that. And I was just like, well, now my character's kind of useless, and if I'd been able to switch to another character, that would have been perfect right then. But you're kind of, like you said, you're locked in, and if that strategy isn't working anymore, you're kind of screwed. So
yeah.
That would be nice, yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely something that gives me pause when it comes to Battleborn, but like, it's a fun game. It's a really fun game, but if issues like that persist, I don't know how long I would be able to play the game, like, feasibly, like, and still be having fun. So yeah, that's my main feeling, my main takeaway from the PvP portion. Because otherwise, it's a fun game. It's really fun. Shane, do you have anything to add?
Oh.
All right.
I said, I didn't play it, so.
Yeah.
Well,
so like how we were supposed to like stick to like 10-minute sections, and we did 20 minutes of this game. But hey, it's our first time. It's okay.
Hey, we're PCP. We don't abide by the rules.
Do what we want.
What the hell is time? It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.